Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we are going to start another chapter in irregularities in surf. This is the second reason, we can say the main reason, one of the main reasons, which causes irregularities in surf. It's called mud'af. Do not confuse it with mudaf, mudafile, because it has got an ayn in the middle. The word mudaf literally means multiplied. So let's see how does this work in causing irregularities. So basically, mudaf in simple words mean when you have three root letters, one first, second, and third. Second and third are same. So you have two root letters which are same, and those being second and third only. So same letters, they because they are same, so they are fused together, and the shadda letter is formed. That means the letter which is fused, and there is a shadda on top, representing that there were two letters over here. Now, irregularities in simple sense, the irregularities which are formed are, first of all, they are fused together. It's one letter now with a shadda. Now, in Sarf Saghir and Sarf Kabir. So today we are going to, right now, I'm just going to explain Sarf Saghir to you, the irregularities in Sarf Saghir. So basically, apart from, the two letters becoming one, the other irregularity would be that there will be three versions of fail nahi and fail amr, and we'll see why. And in small families, you will see that all the Mahdi, all six families, their Mahdi, failed Mahdi look the same. And that's because the third root letter Haraka. So if you know Mahdi, in Mahdi, every failed Mahdi, the root letter in the last root letter Haraka is always Fataha. And this Fataha is transferred to the second root letter in small families. And this becomes the reason why all Fi'l Madi look the same. You will see how that happens. Sir Kabir, though we are not doing it in this presentation, but in simple words, you can say that Mudare, when we are conjugating Mudare, the fused letters are split, they are separated Hunna onwards. And in Madi, so Hunna onwards all the way till Nahnu. And then in Madi, you will see that there are only two places where Sarf Kabir in Madi, there are two places where Hunna and Antunna, they separate, they split only in Hunna and then in Antunna. So these are the two things which we will do in the second presentation. Now let's look at the small families we have. So if you see Samia, Yasma'u, when it's put in the root, when the root letters Zoe, Lam, and Lam is put into Samia, it becomes Zalla. Why? Should have been Zalila, but because the last root letter was had a fatha, and when you joined it, the fatha fused with the second root letter, becoming Zalla. And then when you made the mudare, fi'l mudare, yasma'u, the middle root letter comes back and takes its position in the over here. And I'll tell you what is the reason behind that. I'll tell you. So similarly, as you can see, like I've explained, in daraba yadribu and zal za and zezim, you can see azza. So again, the last root letter of Madi, the Fataha was transferred to the second root letter and it became Azza. And again, in the Mudare, the middle root letters, Haraka comes back, Ya Izzu. Yeah. Then Fataha, Yaftahu, again, the same thing happens that Madi, the third root letters Haraka is transferred to the second and it becomes Massa. And then again, the middle root letters haraka comes back in Mudari, Yamassu. Nasara, Yansuru, again the same thing happens that harakas, the way they are transferred, the same rule is followed over here, that in Mudari, the middle root letter haraka comes back. And now please remember the middle root letter haraka in the Mudari form. So by middle root letter haraka that comes back in Mudari, I do not mean the middle haraka of the, like for example, we have daraba, yadribu. So the middle root letter haraka of mudare comes back over here, not madi. We are talking about mudare. Please do not confuse this point in your mind. I could not find any example in Karuma and Hasiba family So I will just leave it like that. Over here, I just want to explain this simple concept that every time yaftahu, like for example, let's take yadribu. Here we had a sukoon, and since kasra, like these three harakas, dhamma, fatha, and kasra, they are stronger than sukoon, so they eat up the sukoon. So exactly that thing happened over here. The yadribu, the first letter and had a sukoon, and when the root letter was fused, the haraka in the second root letter, which was fused, is actually taking the place in the first root letter now, because first root letter, as you can see, has a sukoon in it. So the second root letter, which was squished by the third root letter, which being the same, the third root letter takes the haraka. We take the haraka of the third root letter when we squish it, when we fuse it. So where will the second root letter's haraka go? It will go back on the sukoon root letter, which is the first root letter, because sukoon is comparatively weaker than kasra or fatha or dhamma. So this is the rule that has been followed over here when you are making the mudare. So in simple words, you can say that sukoon in the mudare is eaten up by dhamma, fatha, and kasra in the preceding root letters haraka. So a few facts. In Madi, you can see the middle haraka is hidden. It's not shown. And that is precisely the reason why all the Madi here look the same. They rhyme with each other. Zalla, Azza, Massa, Shakka. Not like Samia, Daraba, Fataha, Nasara, no. They all rhyme, not Karuma, Asiba. So they rhyme because the middle letter haraka is hidden. In Mudare, you can see that middle haraka comes back. So middle letters haraka, by the way, I mean middle letters haraka comes back. That is because all the Madi look the same, like I've told you, and third root letters, Haraka, is transferred to the second root letter in Madi. And because that happens in the Mudare also, the second root letter's Haraka takes up the place of the first root letter, which was actually holding a sukoon on it. So sukoon being weaker gives up its place to the stronger Haraka, which is Dhamma, Fatha, and Kasra. Madi, also remember that Shadda letter, like I said, takes the haraka of the last letter. So let's look at the, so this was small families. Now let's look at our big families. By the way, you must have noticed I have highlighted the fused letters with red color throughout the presentation, just for you to know that these are the irregularities which are formed. So let's look at the big families. So Allama and Ta'allama are two Shadda families. So remember, these two Shadda families which already have a Shadda in their container will not be affected by this fusion. The fusion of two letters in this will not be affected in the Allama and Ta'allama family, which are also called Shadda family. So as you can see, when Allama family is put into Fa, 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 so Fe and Fe fused together forms this Khaffafa, Yukaffifu, Takhfifan, Fu. Sorry, this won't be Fufakhifu, it will be Mukhaffifu and Mukhaffafu. I'll fix this in the PDF, don't worry. So Kuffifa, Yukaffafu, Takhfifan, Fahuwa, Mukhaffafun, Khaffaf, uh, La tukhaffaf. Again, I will fix this. Here I have to put mu, and here I have to put lam. So I'll do that. Then let's go to jahada, yujahidu. This family will be affected. So for example, we have root letter sheen, qaf, qaf. When we put it in this, it will become shaqa. Jahada will become shaqa. Yushaku, shikakan. There is no fusion over here. It's separated because in jihadan, the second and the third root letter has alif in the middle. So that stops it from fusing. That is the reason. Then mushakun, and then shuka, yushaku. Over here, I will put a doma. I'm sorry. This is again a typo. Mushakatan, mushakun. Okay, so then you have Amr, fail Amr, which is Shaka, Shaki, Shakik. So you see, you have three, you can say irregularities over here. Sorry, three versions of fail amar over here. Then we have nahi, amar nahi, which is la tushaqa, la tushaku, la tushakik. So this these are the irregularities. Also, if you notice, shaka, the madi, and shaka, the fail amar, look the same. This is an irregularity you will see in most of the families, big families, not all of them. Mushakun and mushakun. So file and ism maf'ul also look the same because of this irregularity. So these are the two things that you have to keep in mind. Also, if you see, there is a split. The kaf and kaf which were fused were split in these places because here there is a alif in the middle. Here you can see a haraka comes in the middle. So it is basically shakik becomes jahid. So it goes back to its original fail, amar, and fail, nahi form. Let's look at Aslama family. Again, we have some irregularities here. So if we put it in the container of ha, ba, ba, so it will become ahabba, yuhibbu, ihbaban, muhibbun. Uhibba, yuhabbu, ihbaban, fa muhabbun. And then you will say ahibba, ahibbi, uh, ahbib, la tuhibba, la tuhibbi, la tuhbib. So here you can say the letters which are fused and then they split over here again because there is an alif in the container over here. You see the same thing that you see across all the families which have irregularities, that there are three forms of fail amar and fail nai. And over here you can see that fail madi and amar do not look the same because there is a difference over here. This happened in Jahada family and it will happen in a couple of other families, but it does not happen in Aslama family. So here you only see the splitting of the fused letters in these three positions. I'm also, by the way, I'm again highlighting over here that I have to put la. Instead of here, it should be lam, and here it should be meen. So I'll fix that. And here I'm going to put a dhamma. Okay, so let's look at other families. Ta'allama yata'allamu. Again, like I told you, Shadda family will not be affected. So again, we have a Shadda in the container. So therefore, this family, even though it has the last two letters are the same, they will not be fused because you cannot add a third letter and fuse it. You can only fuse two letters, two same letters, and that has already been done over here with the Shadda. So you cannot fuse the third of the same letter over here. That is the case here. So now Tasa'ala will now be put in ha, ja, jim, jim. Uh, so this over here, you can see the fusion of jim and jim, which becomes tahaja, ya tahaju, tahajan. Over here, again, we have a fusion and mutahajun. And again, you have tuhuja, yutahaju. I think this should be yutahaju, tahajan, mutahajun. Again, we have three variations in fail amr, which is tahaja, tahaji, and tahajij. This comes back to tasa'il. Sorry, this should be tasa'il or tasa'al. Sorry, here. Yeah, this is fine. Tasa'al. So this will become tahaj. Should it become tahajjaj or tahajid? I have to confirm this. Let me just check. So yes, here it would be tahajjaj, not tahajjaj. So tahajjaj, so we have three variations over here. And then again, fail nahi has la tatahajja, la tatahaji, la tatahajjaj. So you see the same three variations. Also, if you notice here that tahajja and tahajja fail amar and madi look the same thing that happened in Jahada family. The fail madi and the fail amar looks the same, and also ism file and ism maf'ul look the same. So these are a few irregularities here. Also, you see the split only in fail amar and fail nahi in the third variation. We don't have a split over here. This is tahajjan. Then let's come to Inqalaba family. We have a few irregularities over here. Over here, again, the simple thing is that the letters are fused. So we put sheen, qaf, qaf. So they just fused together like this. Then we have inshakka, yanshaku, yanshaku, inshikakan, and munshakun. And then we don't have a passive line for it. So we will say inshakka. In Shakti is there are three variations in Fail Amar, which is in Shakka, in Shakki, in Shakit, and you see the split over here. Then again, Fail Nahi would be La Tan Shakka, La Tan Shakki, and La Tan Shakik. So over here, you can see that in Shakka and in Shakka, the Fail Amar and Madi look the same. And over here, you see the split. You see the other two splits over here. So this is something, again, the same thing that happens over here because there is alif in the middle. So there is a split. Over here, again, it goes back to in kalib. So it basically takes the form of the container. That's why it is splitting. Then let's come to last two families, which is iktaraba, yaktaribu. Actually we do have irregularities, but for some reason I wasn't able to highlight it with red color. But just see that they are the same irregularities that we have in other families. That zay and zay, when they fuse together, they form shadda and the haraka on top. So these are the same. For some reason I wasn't able to highlight it with red color. I'm again explaining some technical reason, but this is the same irregularities here as well. You also see ihtazza, yahtazzu, ihtizazan, fahuwa muhtazzun, and then we have uhtuzza, yuhtazzu, uh, ihtizazan, fahuwa muhtazzun. The same thing that happens in other families, that ihtazza and fi'l amr, which is again fi'l amr is ihtaza. They look the same. You've got three variations again: ihtazza, ihtazi, ihtaziz. And then again, fi'l nahi, again three variation: la tahzi, la tahazza, la tahtazza, la tahtazi, la tahtaziz. So same thing, that ism fail and ism maful look the same, muhtazzun and muhtazzun, because of this irregularity. You also see the split in these following in the masdar, in the third variation of fail amr and fail nahi. Let's come to the last family, istaghfara, yastaghfiru, istaghfaran, istighfaran. It shouldn't be istighfaran, istighfaran. I'm going to fix this. Let me just fix it right now. Okay. Istighfaran, mustaghfirun, and then ustughfira, yustaghfiru, istighfaran, fahuwa mustaghfarun, and istighfir, uh, istaghfir. Yes, la tastaghfir. Let me just fix this also. Okay, so yeah, so istaghfir, la tastaghfir. So it's going to be istaghfir, la tastaghfir. Then if we put it in the container, in the root letters qaf, ra, ra, these are the irregularities. The letters which are fused together are these: istaqarra, yastaqirru, istaqraran, fahuwa mustaqirrun, ustuqirra, yustaqarru, istaqraran, istaqraran, fahuwa mustaqarrun. Then you have three variations in fail amar, which is istakir, istakirra, istakirri, and istakrar. So there's a split over here. Then again, three variations in fail nahi, la tastakirra, la tastakirri, la tastakrir. Also, so these are the splits. Again, the split came because alif came in the middle of the two root letters, ra and ra. Over here, because it was put back in its original container, and the haraka came in the middle. So this is the reason it was split. So now if you kind of summarize Sarf Saghir, you see that there are three versions in all the families. And then also you see that over here, Fail Nahi, Fail Amar, and small families over here. So by the way, I did not do the Sarf Saghir of small families because it's pretty easy, and there's not much. I will probably just make a PDF of small families Sarf Saghir and post it. But usually it follows the same rule that when two letters squish together, uh, uh, they form one letter and a shadda is put on the top with the root with the haraka which is in the last letter. Uh, so let's look at all these family together. I've not included allama and ta'allama because there are no irregularities in those families because they are called shadda families, so they already have shadda in the middle. In these, if you can see, most of them have Madi and Fail Amar looking the same. Most of them have Isam File and Isam Maful looking the same. Not all of them, but kind of you can say half of them, most of them have the same issue. Also, if you see the fusion of the letters everywhere, then you see the split in the third variation of Isam Fail Amar and Fail Nahi. So you can say nutshell, this is how the irregularities in the big families look like. So you can summarize it that same letters fuse to form one letter with a shadda. That's what's happening over here. Then there are three versions. So these two things are happening in all the families, that there are three versions of fail nahi and fail amar, and the fusion of the same letters. And apart from that, we see the same like the uniformity of isam mazi and sorry, fail madi and fail amar, and then sometimes ism file and ism maful also look the same. So this brings us to the end of this presentation. If there are any outstanding questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We are going to do now Sarf Kabir in the next presentation, so stay tuned for that. I will also try to post the small families Sarf Saghir, and you can then see or maybe you can do it in the drill and figure out yourself. So we'll see what seems plausible. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.